Hi guys, and welcome to Physical Sciences for Year 10 in the Australian curriculum. In this video we're going to be looking at the last section of the first unit of our iTunes U course, which is looking at the concept of alternative energy. Now, as we've already gathered, there's a variety of lots of different types of energies that we utilize. But the main reason, and there is huge talk in the media about alternative sustainable energy. But the real question is, why bother? Why do we need to really worry about trying to find a different source of energy? Well, we all know that basically we burn fossil fuels, okay? And we do that in terms of making electricity. Now you think about your everyday life. How often do you use something which runs by electricity or has required electricity to produce it? If you think about it, there'll be very few times in your day when you are not using electricity. The world consumes huge amounts of electricity, and most of our electricity, especially in Australia, comes from fossil fuels. Now, fossil fuels being coal, oil, petrol, gas. Now, the real problem, as you know, about fossil fuels is they will not last forever. Okay, we only have so much fossil fuel in the ground that we can extract either by mining or by drilling. Australia, as we know, gets a huge amount of its revenue from mining, but eventually that will run out. Once that runs out, how are we going to gain our electricity? Now, this is the real problem that we need to face, and it's your generation and your children's generation which will then have to come up with plans and ideas which are going to produce alternative energy. So what have we got basically that's out there? Well, we need to use sustainable energies that can be harnessed and basically meet the world's needs. We need to be able to make sure that when you switch on your kettle, it's going to boil. And it's not going to cost you a small fortune in order to boil your kettle, because electricity is so expensive, because the coal which is burnt to make your electricity is so rare. Eventually, one day, coal will be as expensive as something as gold. Why? Because it's so rare. We can't get it. We must find cheap energy. Now, we've got huge amounts of energy all around us. Our problem is, how do we harness it and convert it into the electricity that we need? So the types of sustainable energies which we've got around the planet are things like solar energy, geothermal, wind, waves, biofuels, and hydroelectric power. Now, places like New Zealand are already running on hydroelectric power. They don't burn any fossil fuels. Iceland uses geothermal power. There are huge numbers of wind farms that are being set up. In Spain, they've already set up solar towers which are being made to generate electricity. Biofuels are being looked at for algae, and how do we use algae to produce a sustainable energy that we can run our cars by. So what we really need to do is look at each of these in turn and understand how they work. Now, if you follow through and on the posts on this iTunes U section on alternative energy, you will see all of these 6 sustainable energy, or 5 sustainable energies on this post, which basically look at solar, wind, wave, geothermal, biofuels, and there's a variety of videos which will run through how they are being harnessed. From that will give you an overview as to how they work and how scientists are using it. Also be aware that each one of those is going to have pros and cons for the environment, and we must explore those things so that we make sure that we make a decent choice as to how things work. Okay, so I hope this has introduced the idea of alternative energy. There's a lot of YouTube videos and Open University videos to watch. They're excellent videos. I suggest you sit down and watch through them and build up your own sort of idea as to what will work. Okay, thanks for watching, And I hope you find it interesting, and join me again when we go into our second unit, which is going to be looking at motion and Newton's laws. Thanks for watching.